everyone. I'm Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her podcast. We are joining Dr. Ebru. She is pioneering immunologist and she is the first to create a clean skincare line by design and also support the skin's immune. While combating the effects of inflammaging, she's also with over 20 years of research in skin and immune health. She blends the groundbreaking science with holistic wellness, and also she empowers women to see beauty as an extension of overall health. As the founder and award winning brand AveSeena, Dr. Ibu is also a journey from scientist to an entrepreneur, and she is also resilient, innovation, and also she has many purpose to help many others. Hey, Dr. Ibu.
Hey, happy to be
Girl,
here. Thank you for having me.
thank you. Today is not the day.
Yeah, are we under Mercury retrograde again? Who
Oh my
knows?
God. I just been off balance all morning.
Well, we need more coffee, like patches, ivy, I don't know, bathe in it, something. It's a Friday morning.
I know, but this Fridays feels like a Monday.
All Fridays and all days feel like Mondays these days. Who knows? I'm
Yeah.
not, then time is going too fast for my liking. I don't know why.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. So please help us understand who is Dr. Ebru before you actually became Dr. Ebru.
Well, first of all, Ibra is a nerd, Star Trek and sci-fi nerd, and that's one part. I mean, if Star Trek Academy was real, and if I could go, no man has gone before with spaceship, I would. That's Ibra. But in the real life, I'm a scientist. I'm an immunologist, and I'm founder of AveSeena. And my whole purpose is to share the science and share the knowledge I learned all these years, because science does not belong to any of us. It's here to be shared, not to be kept on your chest like a poker card, you
Mm,
know? And
yeah.
that's why we founded Avicina, to share the science, to share the good with everybody.
Wow. So can you take us back to the moment when you realized that protecting the skin's immune system was the key to healthy, youthful skin?
Well, it's overall, it's helping your immune system, all your body helps you overall. So every skincare should be designed as a protector. It protects you from dullness, it protects you from moisture loss, that kind of thing. So by keeping that balance, keeping that well-being, wellness balance, I call it, you help overall the skin to fight what it needs to fight, like microbes and bacteria and viruses, instead of also trying to deal with moisture loss or sensitivities and that kind of stuff. So this stems from my personal experience, because boy, did I invest a lot of money in very expensive brands, and none of them worked. I mean, this sounds like very classical story by every beauty founder, but that was it. Nothing worked, and I was pissed as a scientist. I mean, these big brands have tons of money, tons, and we still do not have the science and all that research that's been done from by every other scientist out there, and these brands are still giving us the formulas from 1970s. That is not right. And 1970s formula with today's price range, that's not acceptable. I think that got me like pissed off, and I was like, what was that saying? Hell hath no fury as a like a woman scorned, or something like that. Kind of feels like that, right? Like I was pissed.
Oh
Yeah, that's kind of how it started.
man, that's how a lot of things start. When you see things not going too great, you want to make a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So your father's cancer journey was a turning point in your research and career. How did that personal experience shape your vision for
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I mean, my father, he was a transplant surgeon, and to give people like who's listening a perspective, he comes from that Frank Sinatra era, you know, the hats and the style and the aftershave. He's meticulous in everything he does. And he was such a gifted surgeon, but also very hyper and my harshest critic, which is good because he understood the science of everything I did in my research during my immunology PhD. So he would be like, "Why did you do this?" And we would be going on and on about search, like publications and everything. So when he was diagnosed with cancer, and his journey was a very hard one, and it was lung cancer, both in front of the heart and behind it. So they couldn't operate him because it was too close to the heart. So he had to go through a very harsh chemotherapy and radiotherapy on top of it, you know, and growth epithelial growth factor receptor blocker, which helps greatly, but it also messes up with your skin in during that treatment time. So what happened was he couldn't use anything. I mean, he would use something, then it would break him out, and he was mad. He was like, "This is not happening." I mean, as an MD and as a patient, I can't find anything for myself. So that is when I was still working on the formulas, and I gave him a prototype and he loved it. I mean, he felt very happy with it, very comfortable with it, and he was like, "Sit down, kid. We got to talk. What are you doing here?" You know. So I was like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna tell you, but I'm doing this." So we talked about, and this is the time nobody in the beauty industry is talking about skin microbiome or skin barriers. And he started asking me those. I'm like, "Is there anything you don't know?" You know? But as an MD, as a surgeon, he was asking all these questions. And it was like, "You need to consider this kind of patient. You need to consider this kind of person with this kind of skin problems." And like, that's how everything started. That he shaped the journey. And he was like, "Do not stray away from science, and profit is not that important. Yes, it's important, but you got to put out something ethical,
Mm,
something transparent, because people are already being scammed with everything every day."
yes, they are. Yes. And you know, it's really sad because you really look for people to be so authentic with their brands, and even like with you having a skincare line, a lot of people are changing the chemicals into bad chemicals instead of from when they first started, everything was so natural and organic. Um, do you find yourself shifting? Usually it happens when they sell their brand. So do you plan on ever just changing the ingredients within your skincare?
Well, let me make a little comment here. Not everything natural is good. Not every synthetic ingredient is bad. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, there has been a huge fear mongering in the beauty industry, and thanks to the influencers, because they said chemicals are bad. I mean, let's look at it from a scientific perspective. Water is a chemical, you know? Like, but when you look at it, arsenic is natural. It's found in nature, right? You're not gonna put arsenic on your face.
Right.
So the fear mongering in the industry has gone too far. So when you ask me the question, are we gonna change any of the ingredients in the future? We might, but we will change it based on the scientific publications. And every day in the beauty industry, there's new and very effective products are coming up, ingredients are coming up. And with that said, we do not choose the ingredients just because a supplier says, "Oh, this is a very good ingredient." We look also on PubMed, where all the scientific publications are available to public, and see, okay, what are there any studies on this particular ingredient or this chemical structure? So we look in there and see if there's any pros and cons. That's how we choose the ingredients. And yes, everything evolves, but it should evolve for the good, for the greater good, with the science, and for the most efficacious product. So yeah, that's the route we take.
Okay. So being both a scientist and an entrepreneur when it comes with like its own set of challenges, what were the biggest hurdles you faced transitioning from the lab to launch your consumer brand?
The biggest challenge. Oh my God, should I make a list? Um, well, one of the biggest challenges, everything is bootstrap, because when we went to the VCs and everything, they didn't understand the idea because when you put science into skincare, real science, not the marketing science, everything gets complicated. And the VCs and the investors are like, oh, this idea is never going to sell because we were ahead of time. They didn't hear anything about inflammaging or possible inflammation of the skin and stuff like that. They like this is the time where nobody in beauty industry was talking about even skin barrier. And there I am trying to pitch to the VC saying, there's a skin barrier, there's this, there's that, and they're like, what? This is never gonna sell. Is your packaging pretty? That's all they cared about.
Yeah, yeah,
And then um I talked to my husband and I talked to my father, and they were like, no, we're going to bootstrap this. You're going to bootstrap this. So everything you see in AveSeena is bootstrapped as a woman, as an alone person, like because there was no other way. And this is my personal struggle. Like people deserve better.
yeah,
Everybody deserves better. I'm tired of celebrity brands saying, "Oh, I look awesome because I have this cream." I'm like, "Honey, you have a dermatologist and a plastic surgeon on call 24/7. If I had that, I will look like immortal." Nobody has that. This is sad. So that's how, like, that was the I think the hardest part, to convey the science and also trying to get the best ingredients and the best formula and everything without spending it too much. To my luck, I'm also a cosmetic formulator, so I didn't have to go that route and have to deal with the exorbitant amounts of cosmetic formulation because I knew what I wanted and I could formulate this thing I wanted. But it's not easy. It's not easy. It is doable, but it's not easy.
yeah. And you know what's so crazy when you mentioned how the influencers and the celebrities and the popularity when it comes to things like that, and also the packaging. I've noticed like a lot of people are more influenced by the packaging and not the product. And it's just unfair because someone may not be so passionate with the product as far as the packaging portion of it, but creating a product to make it great for someone's skin or any type of product it is, I feel like that matters the most.
I think so too. I mean,
Yeah,
if you put all your money in packaging, you got to cut corners somewhere.
yeah, you do.
There's somewhere. I mean, you can't have a product that's COGS is around $50 or $20, which where you have the most amazing packaging and the most amazing, product composition. It doesn't work that way. You gotta cut the money. So as a founder or as a CEO, you have to decide what is my offer to the people here. A shiny, glittery package where they're gonna be pitching it, like picking it up at the market, but they're never gonna come back for repurchase. And I'm just giving water and just with fillers, or am I going to offer the people something that works, something I'm also proud and happy to put it on my own skin as well? I choose the second route. I'm sorry. I'm done with the glitters and everything. I don't know if you heard this week, Louis Vuitton has released a lipstick. Do you know how expensive it is? $160. $160 for a lipstick
That's crazy.
in this time and in this economy. I mean, the eye quad, the eyeshadow quad is 250.
That's insane.
It's pigment. It's not even skincare. So what are we doing there? Of course, there will be people buying it
Yeah.
for the brand to have a piece of Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. But $160?
Mm.
That's a family dinner.
Oh, that's a grocery shopping at this point.
Exactly. So yes, like like creams could be around 160, but there is stuff in there. There is peptides, there is vitamins, there is hyaluronic acid, all that stuff, all of it. And when you use the highest quality ingredients, the price goes up. But that's the thing that you're putting that on your face. Lipstick, how long does it stay on your lip? 2 hours, maybe max. If you're not drinking coffee, drinking water, maybe an hour. I mean, if I'm putting that lipstick, it should make me look like Angelina Jolie lips. I'm sorry. I should be powdered. I should look pretty.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's just crazy that the world view things in that matter when it comes to things like that, because that's like someone having on Louis Vuitton compared to someone having a regular Target or a Walmart outfit, but the people are more attracted to the person that who have Louis Vuitton on, which don't have wealth, but the person that has a Walmart or Target on, they are wealthy.
Yeah,
It's like a huge difference when it comes to many things like that. But I feel like it is a shift coming, as far as I've noticed a lot of people are more passionate when it comes to seeking people that are more genuine and more legit and not scamming you or nothing like that. I feel like slowly but surely a lot of people is seeking more of that, more than noticing they've been noticing people aren't what they say they are.
I agree. I agree on that. I mean, that's as you get older, you keep your circle smaller, because you don't have the time or the energy to decipher what is going on. Is it scam? Is it real? I mean, we're already bombarded with all the scams and everything. This could be skincare, this could be cosmetics, this could be something else. But it's preservation of energy what you're talking about, because you have a certain amount of energy that's good for you, enough for your family, and you're like, nah, I can't give you my energy because it's precious.
Yeah.
It's precious. And you make very selective high quality choices, and nobody should feel bad about that. That is your 100% right. It's your self-care right, it's your wellness right, it's your mental health right. Nobody is, this is my thing I always try to tell myself too. Nobody's more valuable than you are.
Yeah.
You're one of a kind. Your experiences, your choices, your lifestyle, you're one of a kind. And do we do mistakes? Yeah, we do it every day.
Yeah. That's
That's
so
okay.
yeah, it is. So inflammaging is a term many people aren't familiar with. Can you explain what it is and why it's one of the biggest hidden threats to our skin and health?
Of course. So before we go into that explanation, let me make a tiny little explanation here. So unfortunately, in every industry right now, this is nutrition, supplement, beauty, you name it. Everybody's talking about how inflammation is bad.
Yeah.
And we need to make a very important distinction here. Inflammation is not bad. As an immunologist, I'm telling this. The type of inflammation defines what is bad. So if we didn't have acute inflammation, which is when your body sees a microbe or a virus or something, and your whole immune system comes and says, oh my God, somebody's trying to invade us. Yay, let's destroy it. So that's your acute inflammation, okay? It destroys the microbe, it gets rid of the virus, And then during that time, inflammation goes up. When it gets rid of the virus or the microbe, the inflammation starts going down, going into the healing phase. Okay, it's a huge mechanism that you needed. I mean, without it, we would humans would have been extinct today. We would be all dead. However, there is inflammaging and chronic inflammation. So let's talk about chronic inflammation first. Chronic inflammation is where your immune system kicks up and inflammation goes so high, but it cannot come down. And this can happen in cases of diseases, for example, autoimmune diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, cardiac diseases, even, let's say, for example, COVID. You can't heal from COVID. You know, the first time, remember the cytokine storm everybody was talking about? That
Right.
was chronic inflammation couldn't going down. That's why they were having the cytokine storm. So we do not want this kind of chronic inflammation. We want it to come down. We want it to finish its job and heal us. But that's the bad inflammation. And then there's something called inflammaging. Inflammaging is a combination of two words, inflammation plus aging, because it prematurely ages you. However, this kind of inflammation is lower than chronic inflammation. It's like leaving your car on and it's constantly working like at gear one and it's not going anywhere, but what would that do? It will wear off your engine, right, in the meantime. So like inflammation does that. You have a very low amount of micrograde inflammation, but it's always there. So what it does is on the skin level, it can create premature aging signs like degradation of collagen, elastin, dryness. All of a sudden you look more tired, more aged, you know. In the body realm, you may feel some aches happening constantly in your joints, in your muscles. But again, still it has an advantage, you know, pros and cons, right? Everything bad also has an everything good.
Yeah.
So when you have these kind of symptoms, stop and listen, because that's what your skin and your body is trying to talk to you, saying there is something wrong here and I cannot fix this by myself. That's why I'm showing you these symptoms. Can you help me? That's basically it with inflammation, you know. And inflammation can happen because of stress. Stress is our biggest enemy. Lifestyle choices, which is bad sleep. You know, you can't sleep, you have insomnia, that's going to cause inflammation. Food choices, fatty foods, high sugary foods, fast foods, that kind of thing. Um, you know, and like stress is the biggest thing.
Yeah, it is. Stress will, whew, it'll do a lot to a person.
Oh yeah, podcast. That's
A whole nother one. So many people see beauty and wellness as separate. How do you bridge these two worlds to create such a great approach when it comes to skin and health?
sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, beauty industry did that with the beautiful models and everything, who's been behind the scenes, have been like cleaned up and they have size zero and they look beautiful mutants. I call them beautiful mutants. I wish we were like that all, but it's not possible. But that's the thing. Beauty should be about wellness, should be your me time, should be your self-care time, because you've been bombarded by everything every day. I mean, if you have kids, you don't have a breather. If you have one kid, that's hard. If some of us have two kids, three kids, four kids, and alone trying to do this by themselves, and then there's work, and then there is the bombardment coming from the TV every day. You're not good enough. You're not this enough. You need us. You need to do this to look pretty. No, that's a no.
Yeah.
You need your time off. That's why beauty, this could be makeup, skincare, that's your me time. That's the time you take back and call it the rebellion, you know, call it, you know, like, I don't know, just you're taking it back.
Yeah. I, I
That's
get I
your
get
time.
what you I get what you're saying because when you take care of yourself and it creates you to start feeling good about yourself, it makes you feel good to wake up. It makes you feel good to get just out the bed, period. It's just when you have that time off to you, it just creates a whole nother character for yourself. And it's like nothing or anything can stop you from taking care of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the best feeling.
It
I'm
is the best feeling. I mean, it's not easy. It's
no,
in I'm gonna do that, but 5 minutes, even at night, washing your face, putting your cream on, close the door, lock it, lock the bathroom door, put the music on. 5 minutes. That's your wellness time. It makes a huge difference. You can shift your whole, neural pathway in your brain. You can shift it in 5 minutes.
yeah. So women in STEM often face under presentation and bias. How did you navigate being a woman in an immunology and skincare science? And also, what advice do you have for others pursuing the male dominant fields?
That's a very good question. I mean, it's not easy to be a woman scientist, unfortunately, in academia, if you don't have your team backing you up, you will be pretty lonely, and especially these days where there is not enough grant money to support the research in different areas. Women scientists are not very highly sought these days. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
But challenges are opportunities, right? I
Mm,
mean, that's why I don't like, for example, saying we have a problem. I think we should package it as we have a challenge. So, as women, we have a challenge. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna educate our kids? So that is one of the biggest things. So, how can you go forward as a woman? That's a good question because I have a daughter, 5 years old, and every time she says I cannot do it, I'm like, no, you can do everything.
yeah.
So that is when it starts, implementing. If you have kids, tell them they can do everything. They're going to be scared, and they're going to be hesitant. But that little kid never goes away. As you get older, that little kid still stays in. And it says, when you're trying something new, it tells you, like, we can't do it. But
Mm,
who is telling that kid inside of you that you cannot do it? Is it the society? Is it a man trying to mansplaining you, saying, "Honey, that's not how you do it. This is how you need to do it." And I'm like,
yeah.
you just did not do that. But that's the thing. Do not listen to anybody. You are stronger than you think. You are smarter than you think, and you are smarter than you have been told.
Yes.
Don't
That is
take
so
no for
true.
an answer.
That is so true. And it's with you having a daughter and you showing her that and telling her that it's huge because it also creates you to push yourself even more and not even give up. Because when I was younger, I watched my mom in a dominant men industry. She did construction, she did asphalt and concrete, she did all of that.
That's
and,
hard.
and
That's
back
hard.
and back then it was like I used to see her and she usually be the only woman out there, or maybe the max three women. So just watching her dominate that, stand her ground, worry about sexual harassment, um and being judged differently, just different things like that. When you in that industry and men really not respecting you and just seeing you for you and doing your work and not thinking you could do what they do, it empowered me to even push forward to just knowing that I could dominate anything. It doesn't even matter. So with you having a daughter, she will see it. If she don't see it now, she will see it definitely later, because I know I did.
I hope so. I mean, another thing I think I would like to add here, do not expect respect, or validation from others,
Yeah,
because what they see in you is a reflection what is going on in themselves.
that's true.
So just walk the path. Do
Mm.
not listen to anybody. You respect yourself. You do something good, you cheer yourself and look in the mirror. I did this, and walk the path. That's
Wow.
all I'm going to say.
So, from dealing with sensitive skin, hormonal changes, and environmental stressors, what are your top non-negotiable skincare habits?
Non-negotiable, you said.
Yes.
Okay, non-negotiable. First of all, let's start from outside inside. Okay, non-negotiables: eat good foods. Okay, stop eating the fast foods and all that, because clearly reflects on your skin. It changes your skin microbiome. Drink your water, and I'm taking a note to myself: coffee is not considered water. Soda is not considered water. So drink your water, eat good foods. I mean, of course, we're all going to eat some fast foods and ice cream time to time, but anything extreme is bad for you, right? Because as we eat those, the inflammation in the body, the inflammaging is going to go up. So that's one. Second of all, try not to stress too much, which is hard for me too, but try to find your me time, 5 minutes or so. Like sit in the corner, pet your dog. I don't know, just look outside or stand outside with, you know, on the ground, on the grass. Do nothing. 5 minutes. Just let it go and ask this question to yourself: I'm stressed about this subject now. Would this subject be important 2 years from now, 5 years from now? And if the answer is like, and your brain is going to answer you right away. Your
Oh, that's
brain, your guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, something is going to answer you back. And it's probably going to say, nah, it's not going to be important. Then let it go. Say bye bye to stress. 5 years ago, 5 years later, I'm not going to even care about you. So bye bye. Let it go. Let it go into the universe. I will take care of it. Okay, so that's number two, three, right? And my non-negotiables. So when you wake up in the morning, definitely wash your face. You need that water hitting to your face, because that makes changes in your brain. There is a study about that. It wakes you up, it stimulates your brain. And wash your face with a very gentle facial cleanser, like we have one, a pH balanced one. Then, based on the season, for me, if it's really hot outside, I go with our water based serum and I put that on. And if I want to put a cream on, and if I don't have time, I mix the serum with the cream, put it on. And I always have my SPF if I'm going to be outside for a long time, because you need it. I mean, if you want to stay young and don't have UV aging you faster than it should, you need to have your SPF. And then at night, when you come home, now this is the time you do the big skincare. But when I say big skincare, I don't want to scare anybody. Let's say in the morning you spend 2 minutes, at night you're gonna spend 5 minutes. That's it. So the reason why is this: the whole day is on you, the whole dirt, all that pollution, it's on your face, you know? And just washing your face and, cleansing your face, that also has a little spiritual part of it, because it's like, I'm getting rid of the stress, I'm getting rid of this pollutants, that kind of helps. So whatever rocks your boat, if you're not spiritual, you don't have to think about that. But the main thing is, you are getting rid of those junk on your face. So we get rid of that with a gentle cleanser. Then you continue with your serum. If you want a facial oil, you can do that, and your cream. And you do this at the last step before you go to bed. And here's why. When you go to sleep, the reason how and why night creams work, like the creams work at night, is this: because when you go to sleep, you go through different REM cycles. And the deeper REM you go, the more growth hormone you produce. Like, remember when you were a kid, you would sleep so deep. It was so nice because
Mhm.
reason is your body is designed to go so deep so it can produce a lot of growth hormones so you can grow. That's it. But as we get older, it's getting harder to sleep because the nature is saying, well, you grew a lot. You're pretty big. You don't need growth hormones anymore. So it you and there's also other factors, but this is one of them. Um, but still, sleep is important because that's when your body starts repairing you. It's like your computer, your brain shuts down, you go into the standby mode, brain wise, you're seeing the dreams, but there's no stress. There's no outer factors that bugs you. And during that time, body starts repairing you. Like it's repairs all day, but that's when it's more undivided, let's call. Same for your skin. So that's why when you wake up in the morning, if you had a good night's sleep and you had your cream on, your skin looks like baby's bum. That's the reason. So those are my non-negotiables. It's a long list, but I had a lot of scientific explanations of dreams. So bear with me.
Yeah, because it's so crazy. I I used to always watch skincare videos, and my biggest go to has always been Neutrogena. So because I have sensitive skin, and if I use certain stuff, my skin will literally break out. But when I was watching videos, I was like, skincare really takes a lot of self care when it comes to you taking care of yourself. It gives you a motion of like having patience, having time, and actually using that time as valuable time that you're using for yourself because it is a lot of steps to skincare.
Oh,
It is,
true. But
yes.
that's the thing. Those videos are very exaggerated. I mean, I can make
Okay.
my 5-minute routine into a 50-minute routine, not a problem. You know, and it's like, now we're doing this.
Yeah.
But no, you can finish it in 5 minutes. The main point is also in skincare, when you're applying any skincare, cream, serum, oil, never go towards your neck. Like, let's say you have your hand on your cheek, right? Go upwards from your chin to the side of your eye. That's how you do it. So you're working against
Mm.
the gravity. So that's one of the keys. That's it. That's it. Anytime you cleanse, go upwards. Go upwards, always upwards. Because if you do downwards motion, like gravity is already pulling it down, and then you're putting your hands and it's like, oh, let's take it down. No, you need to go up, up, always go to the sky, you know?
Yeah.
So that's one trick. That's all the trick you need to know.
Well, thank you for that, doctor.
I aim to make things easy.
Yes, definitely. So your brand is trusted by scientists, doctors, editors, and skincare lovers around the world. How did you build such a credibility in such a competitive industry?
It wasn't easy. I mean, like taking the science out of the lab and putting in the glitter of the beauty world, well, that's a hard thing. And when people are not scientists in the beauty world, they're like, what? Did you said what? It took a lot of explaining, a lot of um, convincing that science can be in beauty. So that was it. But I think it comes down to perseverance and grit, like anything else. Just walk the path, don't give up, tell your story, and there will be someone who is out there listening. And if I can change that person's life for the better, that's good enough for me. Just one person at a time.
Yeah, that's what it takes. So, looking ahead, what breakthroughs or projects are you most excited about in the next chapters of your work?
Well, we have a new breakthrough we just released out. It's here. It's this device. I can show you. This device is called Anka Face and Body Treatment Device for the people who cannot see it. So what it does is it has LED light therapy, and then it has radio frequency, EMS, and ultrasound. And How is this different than all other devices out there? First of all, price, because I hate expensive stuff for nothing. There are devices out there that does 25% of what this device can do, and they're sold at 3,000, 600, 4,000. This
Yeah.
device is 460. So that's one thing. Second of all, I hate having different devices for the face, different devices for the body, because they all gather dust and you end up in a junkyard in your house. The Anka device, you can do your face, you can do your body. So anything, you can do everything you want. For the face, it helps with anti-aging, lifting. I mean, you can go on the Instagram and see the videos, or the product page, see the videos. I mean, once I do one side of my face and it lifts up, and the other face is just talking to gravity, sagging down, And for the body and the tummy, it helps against that, uneven cellulite look. Works great against that. I mean, I can't. I need to use it every day. I love it. So that's one of the new things we have right now. And people ask me why a device, because there is now research in PubMed that shows the LED lights and the RF and the ultrasound actually helps. It's like taking your face to the gym with the radio frequency, because it's helps lifting the signs of, it helps against the signs of aging, which is sagging and wrinkles. So yeah, you're basically taking your face to the gym. So
Wow.
yeah, that's our newest stuff.
Wow. That is amazing that you created something like that. You're a genius.
Uh, no, I'm just hyper.
So if you could leave women with one message about beauty, wellness, and self-care, what one of the hopes that they remember for the rest of their lives, and what would it be?
Do not believe the bullshit.
Oh,
Do not. You have a brain. You're smart. Question everything. If a celebrity is coming to you, like Lindsay Lohan, and says, "Oh, I look so awesome because I'm putting my face in ice water every day," question that. Probably she has a glacier at home, putting her face into the glacier every morning. I don't know how that works.
yeah.
Question everything. And another thing I want to note here is stay away from cheap products, because you are not rich enough to buy cheap stuff. Because anything you cheap buy today, let's not talk about skincare. Let's talk about a car. You bought a cheap car. What's going to happen? It's going to break down faster than you want it, and you're going to end up spending more money fixing it. Your body is no different. Your face is not different. Do the research. Don't believe in the BS, and do not sell yourself cheap. Get the stuff you deserve. You are amazing. Your body is amazing. I mean, we have, like, I don't know, 2 million years of evolution making this, making your body. Don't throw it away. You're pretty amazing. Own it.
Wow. That was great. I needed to hear that myself. Like
Oh,
seriously.
after the podcast, call me. I'll give you a pep talk.
Yeah, I know you're not gonna cut no corners either. So, how can people purchase your product, follow you, and also just support everything that you have going on?
Well, we are on our website, AveSeena. It's spelled as A is an apple, V is in Victor, E is in Edward, S is in Sam, ENA, AveSeena.com. They can find us on Instagram, same username, Avicina. And we have entertaining videos there. I mean, you can see me talk and doing the gladiator dance. Yeah, I do that too. So I aim to please and aim to entertain at the same time. But they can find us there. We're also in Equinox up in North, and also in California, and select spas that are coming more.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for such an informative conversation. You taught me a lot, and I'm quite sure my listeners been taught a lot about skincare in the industry and everything when it comes with it, and just being a scientist along with a brand. You really don't hear that often.
Thank you so much. You've been so nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Life Heard Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and also on all social media platforms and platforms that you can listen on audio.